welcome to RPM Games channel. That's me, I'm Ryan, I'm the guy who runs this channel. Welcome, hi, how's it going? Anyway, this is just a quick little introduction to let you know we have some few pieces of merchandise on sale in the Streamlabs version, which probably ain't the highest of quality, which is kind of irrelevant. It's merchandise of We Gone at the moment, the wagon I built. May have more coming up at some point, but for now, that's a start. And for those of you ready to have some fun and see what I've been up to, here's some pictures and some video, maybe with or without talking or music. So have fun, enjoy, thanks for the like. Always thank you for the subscription if you choose to give one. And any comments I reply to as best I can. So we shall see you again after the video. Bye! And now we have it in primer. That's right, now I can see all my little blemishes and start working out my issues, which there's quite a few. We got little dots here. This whole area needs to be re-smoothed out a little better. Yeah, not gonna focus too well for that. We got a little better in the corner, but we still got a lot of work to do in this little section. There's also a little blemish up in there. The whole front turned out, yeah. After sanding, there's a little bit of, this is just primer filler, so once it gets smoothed out, it'll be a little better as well. We got a little strip going here that needs a little filler. The door line needs a little bit more. There's a little pinhole here, and this isn't completely smoothed out yet, so I will be putting another row across the top. This corner looked really good. Not sure if it's gonna work to show this or not, but there is some seam going on here that needs a little more sealer. A little bit more filler in here. A little bit of contouring to go on in here yet. The tail panel looks pretty good. Got to clean out the light bezels, make sure they're filled in all the way around a little better. Double check my corners. Other than that, it's kind of hard to see depending on the light. That's kind of a good example. You can see how the light still shows this line, which is why I'll be putting a whole nother Bondo across that. But I got all my window trim on all the way around. This one's a little low on this side, but not bad. It works. So we now have the 627 taking shape, and I got to make some new windows, start working on the interior and the back half of the chassis. I'm looking for the right color for it. I have one or two options so far, and the store didn't have the one I was looking for, so color wise is still partly up in the air at the moment. So I doubt you'll see it in color next time in pictures or anything, but you will probably see more filler up in here and all these little spots being taken care of. And after that, then we'll probably be about ready for actual color. I did sand some of the body line off in here, so I might take some more of this and retrim all of that, just so that it's a little more prominent. I did think about actually taking from almost the front of the door, coming back to here, and fading into a rocker molding. Not necessarily this in particular, but something to give the bottom a little more structure, and then kind of flare its way up into there to kind of help feather this up a little more. But with the way the tires tuck under, I don't really need the fender flares on it, so I'm going to bypass the fender flares and all of that fun stuff. But I got some more filler sanding to do, some panel lines to scribe, and then we'll go from there and probably put her back in primer again and see where we're at from there. So till next time, keep modeling and don't cut your fingers. Back with the 627. You can kind of see there's some color on it. It might not be the ending color. It might not. Hard to say yet. So as you can see, yeah, as you can see, we got leaf springs, we got a frame rail, we got some tubbing going on, some filler panels. We got a filler panel at the top that needs to be extended a little bit, but the way it curves up, you got to do it in kind of layers and then feather it together. We got the sides of the wheel tubs, which even if I just went straight down over here to kind of fill in the back, I would like to kind of get an arch to follow this more to make a wheel tub. That's possible. It's just a matter of time and how much it's going to push over here when I go to slide it all in. So it will still have a gap no matter what, because this arch is inward. So I have to kind of play around with that a little bit. But I do have a little room here I can fill in with some floor pan, etc. We do have a hole in here for drive shaft, so it can get through with the cross members. From up underneath, you can kind of see up in there we have some extra room for storage and things. Do have a filler panel back in there, which when I glue the whole thing in will mount to that to keep it up as high as it needs to go. The shock towers do peek through. Yeah, they do peek through, which I will be making a box around those to kind of cover them, which would on a real car be removable so that you can actually get to the bolt, because as it is right now, yeah, good luck probably from underneath. But anyway, not too sure about the wheels yet. Focus. There we go. The body roof line, they all look pretty good so far. There's a little bit of some, probably going to be hard to see, but you can see some lines going on in here. Most of that was in the base silver that I shot down on it. And it shows through the transparent yellow, so I'm not really sure I want to do that. And I do have a gnarly little blemish here, so I will be reshooting the whole thing again with the base silver if I decide to stick with the yellow. As it is right now, it's pretty, it's decent, but I'm not sure that's going to be the final color. Wow, that light reflecting is just painful. And I do have a little bit of some heavy run down here, just a little bit, not bad. It's smooth, it's not a bubble run, it's just a little extra paint come down off of the trims, which isn't too bad, isn't the worst of it. Kind of blocks some of that light a little bit, doesn't really help any, yeah, helps a lot. Let me get a front tire on there real quick. She sits a little too high in the front, so I will be addressing that to bring the front end down. hopefully we can get the tire tucked up into the well, which, yeah, that's pretty close to 1/4 of an inch it needs to drop down. I believe I have plenty of ground clearance underneath, so not too big of a deal. Just have to cut the studs off and move them up, remount it, and hope they still turn, because currently they do turn. Anyway, this is the 627 coming along so far. I'm really not too fond of these front rims, the way they stick inside the tire lip. I might have to look and see if I can find some better front tires for this, or I really don't like the way this bead pops out way far over onto the tire. Kind of gives it that white wall look, which isn't bad. If I flip this one around, then the wheel kind of slops around in there with that, so definitely a little bit of tweaking left to go with that. So anyway, just another update on what's coming along, and it's getting there. This is kind of currently my project, though, is getting this back end, all this stuff glued on and mounted, and getting it worked. So once I figure out what color we're doing for interior, I can get rid of the red, because it won't be staying red, which is all that stuff over there.